Well, good morning and welcome to the Talk Seat Show with me, Wellington Kodek. And today we have a very special guest, Dave Mwita, who is a mechanical engineer and a nuclear energy advocate here in Kenya. Karibu sana, Dave.
Asante sana.
How is the traffic coming here in Rogai?
A bit tough, but we managed.
Yeah. So as we begin, Dave, what is nuclear energy?
Okay, nuclear energy involves production of energy from nuclear reactions.
Yeah.
That is, we have things like uranium. So there are these reactions which happen involving atoms and neurons. So that kind of reaction produces heat energy. This heat energy is harnessed in form of, how can I put it? It's harnessed to produce the energy that is used to run the normal day life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the relation between engineering and nuclear energy?
Okay, as I had said earlier, engineering involves finding solutions to people's problems. And the problem we are currently facing as the world is climate change. And as engineers, you have to think of a way out, because climate resilience starts with sustainable energy, because it is from the energy sector that we get these emissions that we say we want to bring down. So as an engineer in the energy field, that is where the production is, we have to find a source of energy which can produce results to the consumer and as well ensure sustainability for the future of Kenya. So that is how nuclear and engineering is related. So we design and we come up with better ideas and better technologies to harness energy which is safe and clean for use in the industry for production.
Here in Kenya we have other sources of energy. So why should Kenyans embrace nuclear energy?
Okay, I'd give maybe two reasons for that. The first one is about the diversification of our energy sector. We have fossil fuel majorly, which is used. We have solar energy, we have geothermal, we have hydroelectric energy. So bringing nuclear energy into the picture diversifies our energy sector. That is number one. Through this diversification, it means we will reduce our dependence on the fossil fuel, which we import from outside. So it means we will cut down the costs of the imports and we will be able to have a self-sustaining system of energy in our country, which is cheap and also clean.
So what are the benefits of having a reliable, cost-effective and clean energy in an economy like ours now in Kenya?
Okay, so the first thing is about health. That is one. When we use a clean source of energy, we'll have a good air quality. Like right now, if you check at the emissions, especially which comes from our industries and from the production sector, are going up. Depending on the energy source we use, because it is the energy, it is the fuels we burn that produce the energy we are using. So the first step by using nuclear energy, it means we will have clean air in our country. That means the respiratory diseases will go down, and when they go down, it translates to less and less amount of maybe investments going into the health sector and that kind of stuff, meaning more of them will be directed now to the other production sectors of our economy, which will help boost the productivity and improve on our GDP as a country. Yes, so another thing about nuclear energy is that it has a high energy density, which means it can be a self-sustainable system. We find that we have solar and we have geothermal and all those other kind of energy. So I'll talk about maybe solar, I'll compare it with solar. So solar is affected by the weather conditions, it's affected by maybe the inclinations of the panels, maybe towards the sun and such kind of stuff. But when we talk about nuclear energy is self-sustaining in that the reactions will keep going on and on and on and on. They are not affected by environmental factors. And from that, it produces a high energy density. High energy density means it can be able to facilitate all the industrial works and the domestic works that hydro can do at a cheaper price. Yeah.
When we come to advocacy, we know the youth consist of 60 to 70% of the Kenyan population.
Yeah, very true.
So what are you doing as EARP to incorporate the youth into nuclear energy advocacy?
Okay, first of all is about developing their or boosting their confidence about that by first training them.
Yeah.
We have partnered with Generation Atomic, which offers free training for nuclear advocacy for anyone who is interested, and majorly it's the youth that sign up for it.
Yeah.
So when they are trained about the nuclear advocacy, they are trained about nuclear energy, they get to acclimatize themselves with the nuclear. So they are confident first about nuclear energy. They know what it really entails. Then from there, they are trained on how to handle objections, because advocacy is all about talking to people, getting them to understand, okay, this is a kind of energy. It's a new energy people haven't seen. So you have to break it down, because there are a lot of myths and misconceptions around it. So advocacy is about objections. When you go there, you'll get objections. So you are also enlightened on what steps you are supposed to take when you get an objection. Then another thing is giving them free will to use their platforms, social media platforms, it's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and every other platform they use to freely advocate through that platform. You are not forced that you have to go to the public. You can do it on your own at the comfort of your house, in your TikTok, in your Instagram. You can advocate there. And that contribution is highly appreciated, because most of the people are into social media nowadays. And it's actually a good platform, and that the youth are more ahead, I can say, in terms of technology and in terms of upcoming innovations and everything. So leveraging that capability of the youth is important to us as EARP.
So what are the challenges that you have faced while advocating for nuclear energy?
Okay, the major challenges we face during advocacy is the myths and misconception about nuclear and the power, because of the stories people talk about. When you hear nuclear, you might think it's about explosions, you might think it's about the weapons, the nuclear weapons, which are very dangerous.
Russia, Ukraine
war, which is actually the latest news around. So that is the major challenge we face, because people now tend to think that you are trying to kill them. When you bring nuclear into the picture, you are trying to kill them. But actually they don't understand the processes and the safety measures which have been put. There are a lot of technologies which have been developed to kind of make the production as safe as possible. And that is why investment into nuclear energy is very high, because there is a lot of safety that is involved when it comes to production and use of nuclear energy. And that is what we are trying now to break down to the people. We tell them, yes, we have heard about the things that have happened before. There are accidents which have happened, which have been fatal. But from those, a lot of research has been done, a lot of things have been developed, technologies to help ensure it's a safe form of energy.
So those are the challenges that you have faced.
The challenge that is there, it's about the myth and misconception generally, because people are not aware. They have just heard the negative part, but they don't understand the positive part.
As we finish, Dave, what message do you have to the youth, to the general public, and also to the government?
Okay, for the government, first is to commend them on the steps they are taking towards ensuring that we have a nuclear plant. There are these bodies that have been set up, the board. There is the Ministry of Energy that is working closely with the nuclear energy electrical board to ensure that the feasibility studies are done to make sure that we have a good mechanism of setting up a plant. So the government is doing a good job, and what I'd really maybe encourage the government to do is to invest more on capacity building to ensure people understand, people are aware of nuclear energy, people understand the safety that has been put in place so that when it is launched, we don't get rebellion from the people.
Yeah.
Then for the youth, I think I would encourage them because the youth are at the forefront when it comes to technological development and innovation. So through technological development, the youth can harness that to innovate even more and more better ideas on how nuclear energy can be used safely. And the general public just needs to understand that nuclear is a clean form of energy.
Yeah.
It is actually very safe, and actually when harnessed properly, it's a cheap form of energy which will facilitate economic development and will improve the standards itself, because when the economy is thriving, even your standard is also doing well.
Thank you very much, Dave.
You're welcome.
And that's it for today. For more interviews like this, catch us on our next episode. My name is Wellington Kodek. See you then.